Well, SA Tourism is defending its decision to sponsor English football team Tottenham Hotspur. The agency says it's a solid business plan with potential impact on foreign investment. Also saying they cannot be held at ransom over government's failures. Let's discuss what impact it will have on the sector as far as tourism is concerned. Always a pleasure to have Professor Piet van der Merwe joining us this morning as a tourism expert. Prof, good morning to you. Let's start here. Good idea, bad idea? Did you cringe or did you jump up and down at the prospect?
Gareth, my point of view is this: it's a good idea, but I think it's a little bit much money or too much money spent in one country. If you look at any big sport events, it do generate a lot of publicity, it do generate a lot of income, if we can host some of these events, it is great for the country. But if you look at the deal and what I can obtain from the internet, what is included, that this is mostly branding, and that this branding is then mainly going to be in the UK. And one would wonder if they're going to play any games at all, where we can invite, or where at least some of the African countries come and can see the games. That will generate some income.
I'm sure, as someone who works in the tourism sector, I'm going to, excuse the term, I'm going to shot left for a moment, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, instead of taking R1 billion and throwing the SA Tourism logo, I imagine, on the shirt of Tottenham, why not put that money into, for example, struggling tourism facilities, help them get more power, help them with their branding and their marketing? R1 billion in pounds is not a lot of money, but in South African rands, Prof, do you think it could be better spent from marketing here at home, do you think?
Yes, I fully agree with it, Gareth. I think if one can help, I mean, we just come out of COVID now, and if we can assist upcoming SMMEs with their tourism product development, help them market their tourism products, strengthen our tourism product offerings in South Africa, I think that money could have been spent much better here with helping South Africans. I mean, we can also look at other countries. China is just coming out of COVID, start a new marketing campaign in China. Those Chinese people, they want to travel now. And yes, I feel that we could have spread the money a bit more over different sections of the world for marketing.
But I also get the sense, Prof, having all of us come out of COVID-19 and going through December, we were seeing numbers of tourists coming into SA, and please correct me if I have this wrong, coming back to SA, not as close as pre-COVID-19, but getting pretty close. So we're on the right track. Why do you think there's a sudden push to do it even more hardcore?
But if you look at the SA Tourism strategy, you see that they want to reach 21 million visitors in a couple of years from now. We were close to it before COVID. I think in 2015, 2016, we had the highest number of tourists coming into South Africa. So they've got a target that they need to reach. But maybe if one can spread that target over the rest of the world and not just in one country, in the UK, it might be a bit easier for them to obtain this target of 21 million visitors.
I was about to ask your thoughts on it being the UK specifically. I imagine the UK, and not knowing the tourism sector all that well, it's one of our bigger markets, but why do you think they would have gone for that market? Is it our biggest? Is it the most lucrative? Is it because it's pounds?
Yeah, difficult question, Gareth. I think it's a combination of those. It is our biggest tourism market, one of our biggest tourism market. We've got lots of South Africans also live in the UK. And again, it's also pounds coming in. But I think there's other important markets as well. And just to spend on one market, which is already an established market for South Africa, that's a bit foolish to me. I mean, again, I said we can maybe target new developing areas for tourism in South Africa as well.
Let me just ask you to narrow that down for me, Prof, as I say goodbye to you. Last question. As we talk about tourism as a sector in our country, there's certain parts of the country that are very good naturally at their tourism just because of their geographic location. For example, Durban, the Drakensberg, Cape Town has Table Mountain. Where would you take, if it was your money, they gave you R1 billion and said, OK, Prof van der Merwe, here's R1 billion. Where in South Africa do you go and drop this down to make a difference? Where would that be?
I think I will assist upcoming tourism product owners to get their products on the right track. We've got lots of young people coming into the tourism industry, struggling to get a foot in the tourism, help them to market their tourism products, establish their tourism products, and then we can market these tourism products outside in the international market. I think if we can have a very good tourism market, of the very good tourism product, as we do have already, but if we can increase that, that will also assist a lot.
I certainly think it
And
will.
then I think there's...
Carry on, Prof. Finish your thoughts. Sorry, carry on.
My other opinion is that, and I don't want to deviate from the point, is that I think one of the biggest issues that we need to address in South Africa, and that will increase our tourism numbers, is crime in South Africa. And people are afraid to come to South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a good point as well. I think that's going to help me take a conversation forward later in the day. And it's a fantastic point to end on. Prof, I really appreciate your time. Tourism expert, Professor Piet van der Merwe joining us. Not so much the argument around the 1 billion rand, which is obviously in budget. It's obviously been allocated as well. The question has to be, is it the best way to spend the money? Maybe there was a cheaper way of being involved with Tottenham, maybe not. We know how expensive sports sponsorship is, but was it really the way to go? Well, that's food for thought. It's your show, of course. You can tweet us reaction to my interview with the Prof. It's at ENCA, and we will take a look at those tweets a little bit later for you here on ENCA.